Before it was like not a big deal. You know, we're like, oh, whoever watches watches. Now there's like real audience.
I mean, it's not like I have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people watching. I don't know.
But still, you just want it to be right.
I know I do want it to be right.
So that's what it is. But I remember that saying that says that everything we do at first is not going to be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to make it as
As
I don't know.
2020 as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, you and I shot a wedding last year in Florida for one of your coworkers, and we were more invited as guests than photographers.
Yeah.
But it was okay. Maybe you have a conversation with me. I'm recording right now.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe if you have a conversation with me just about it, then I'll feel a little bit more at ease.
So you want to talk about the photography that we did for Angie's wedding?
Well, just the struggles that we had with like everything that happened
Everything that
from
happened that we didn't expect.
I mean, you really have to expect the unexpected when you go to weddings, but the fact that the bride had to drive herself to her own wedding, her dress tore, her mom went to the hospital because she fell and hit her head. It was originally supposed to start at what 3 p.m.
No,
Yeah, I think it was like
nah,
4.
at 6.
I know she didn't get there until like 7:30.
Yeah. So that's why we left here. Our plane left at 1:45.
Oh, by the way, we took a flight from Newark to Orlando to
Yeah, to
Orlando,
Orlando.
and we arrived in Orlando at 1 p.m. I think it was.
No. We left Newark at 1:40.
We left Newark at around like at a little after 1 o'clock. We arrived in Orlando around 3:30, 4 o'clock, right? Like,
4:45.
and then we got to the hotel. We changed. We didn't have a chance to eat, and we went straight to the wedding. It was an outdoor wedding. It was really beautiful. It was supposed to be
Oh,
really beautiful.
and the Uber driver got lost.
And the Uber driver got lost a couple of times. Um, we eventually made it to the wedding.
Thinking that we were the last ones there.
Yeah, we thought we were going to be super late, and we ended up being really good. Actually,
We
she
ended up being
didn't.
2 hours ahead of
2 hours ahead of time. The bride didn't arrive until like 7:30 ish, and again she drove herself to her to her venue. So I'm just gonna show a few of the photos. I know Angie hasn't seen them yet. Hopefully by the time that the video comes out, we've delivered her album to her and she loves the photos. But just to show how everything started and the amount of light that we were working with, and by the end of the night, or by the end of what was supposed to be the wedding, it was just pitch black. And a lot of the photos that we ended up using, we turned into black and white just because it. I'll show some of the before and afters, so you can get an idea of why we made the decisions that we made. So this was just a little sign. Right now I'm looking at my iPad. This is just a little wooden sign saying, "Welcome to our wedding. Thank you for joining in our celebration." There wasn't much that we really needed to do to this one. The before for this, it was a little less saturated. Just fix some of the geometry on the photo. The next photo was the entrance. It was beautiful. It was lined with bamboo, and it, if you can see right there, was like a little buffet style wedding, but the main seating area was all the way in the back. That you can see right there. That's where the reception was. Right, that was the reception
which one?
with the big tree in the middle where we all sat.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. On to the next one. This was the archway that I think, did her mom do these decorations? Like,
No, her cousin.
her cousin did. Everything was basically just done
Through
family, all by hand. Nobody like paid professional party planners or anything. So she saved a lot of money on the wedding, but it came out really, really nice. It's just a crowd. I think that's like her cousins, her two brothers, maybe their kids. I actually shot. I only took one lens that day, and it was because I it was a pretty fast lens, or it is a pretty fast lens. It was a Canon. It's a vintage Canon 50 millimeter 1.4. I used it on my Leica M240, and if you can kind of see like towards the corners, it's not the sharpest. It's a little hazy, but I guess that's just a characteristic of that lens. But overall, I really did like how it gave the pictures a dreamy quality. Jesus took his you took your Q.
Leica Q.
Took the Leica Q
With no flash.
with no flash. Luckily, it was has much better performance and higher ISO than the M did or does. We eventually got rid of that camera, and he ended up getting an M-P. This is just another group shot of the family. This was everyone was arriving. Mind you, we had already gotten there at about 5:45, and you can see how many more people were still left to arrive. This was just taking the center, or not the center. Were they centerpieces or just like the little decorations that she tied to the chair? Because it was baby's breath and eucalyptus.
Yeah, which was more like her theme. Like even her bouquet had the same type of flowers.
But I know that the eucalyptus served the dual purpose, because on top of it smelling really nice, it kept the bugs away. That was one of the main reasons. Because, I mean, we were literally in, like, next to a lake, what could be considered a Florida swamp. And there were no mosquitoes. There were no horse flies. Nothing.
Oh, that's true.
So it was nice, and it smelled really, really nice. I remember I took a few of the eucalyptus leaves and stuffed them in my suit, and I took them with me. That's just another shot of the same arrangement, just in color. Here I was just kind of getting a feel for what was around, and Jesus was also directing me as to what to photograph. He was sitting next to me, of course, and then we started moving around a little bit more once we got comfortable with the crowd. This is a shot that I really like that I caught. That's the bride's grandfather, and he looked really concerned because she hadn't been there. She hadn't arrived yet, and I figure maybe he kind of knew what happened to Angie's mom, that she had fallen and hit her head, and he kind of knew what everyone was going through. So he looked a little concerned, but it turned out all right at the end. This one is, I believe that's Angie's cousin. I'm not sure, but it was a really nice little laugh that I caught. The before of this was like the colors are really funky. This is, the sun was starting to go down. It was starting to set. So we were really limited on light, and I was starting to push the ISO. This is what it looked like before. It was, colors are just a little funky. That was a flower girl, or flower girl / ring bearer. She was nice. That's the bride with her dad finally arriving. And that big black blob on the bottom right, that was some lady's head that I couldn't get out of the way. So I just did a gradient filter and kind of like, tried to get her out of the way. But you can see that like vintage glow that the Canon 50 gives. And all of these were shot wide open at f1.4 because, again, we were running out of light. It was getting really dark, and there really was no other choice because we had no flash. And the other photographer that was there, or videographer that was there, all he had was just one really, really harsh ring light.
It was awful.
That was the only light besides the candles that were on the tables that we had to use. So it was definitely challenging. That's another shot. of
Which was a family friend,
which
or I think
I think
her
it was her cousin.
Yeah,
Her cousin, yeah. He brought a gimbal, he brought a ring light, and I think a drone, right? I think he might. No drone.
No.
I thought he had a
Alex wanted
drone.
a drone, but
Okay, the groom had a drone, but obviously he was getting married, so he didn't use it. This is a really nice shot. I think Jesus got this one where she was pulling her veil back.
which one?
This one.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pulling her veil back, and we had just gotten that, or Jesus had gotten that on his Q. Really, really nice photo. But this one we also edited. I know that it seems like there's a lot of empty space to the left of the photo, but the way that it was edited, it leads up to her. So you can see that she's obviously the focus, and then it starts just darkening every so often. Obviously, I'm going to cut this part out because I don't know what the hell I'm saying, right? So it's just hard cuts. The next one, that was the cake, remember? By then, it was just pitch black outside, and there was absolutely no light.
Yeah.
So the before, it's tough, was that. Like, I guess the mix of the coating or lack of coatings on the Canon lens and the candlelight and the temperature of the little hanging lights that were in the back were just giving it a really weird green or purple hue to the pictures, and it was a lot of color correcting that had to take place. That's why we decided to just do black and white with that, and then just specialty brushes on the parts we wanted to highlight. This part again had to be really slow shutter speeds because the M doesn't do well past 3200 ISO, so you can see motion blur. It came out really nice though, I think. These are the place settings. I believe this was taken with the Q, so you can definitely see it's less noise, cooler tones, not as warm. This one was a really beautiful photo, and that one light that was illuminating both the groom and the bride was that stupid ring light, which I'll show you the before the edit, and you'll be able to see right here. That's the one thing that was lighting it up, and you can see the ring light was the one all the way to the right of the photo, and the couple was pitch black. So I added a few more string lights up top, highlighted them, brought the exposure up properly, but still we had to leave that mainly black and white because there was really no other choice. This is just a nice group shot after the bride had thrown the bouquet. Little 12-year-old girl caught it, which we later found out that Angie, the bride, didn't even know who that little girl was. I think she came with her cousin's friend. This was also a color photo, obviously, and it wasn't as bad, but by then we pretty much had no choice but to just shoot black and white or change everything to black and white afterwards. This is the before. You can see it has, again, that dreamy, hazy quality from that old Canon lens. But I think it came out really nice with the black and white. It looks a lot more classic, and I feel like that photo will age a lot better. This is the bride. This was taken on the Q. This was Jesus's photo, and when I saw him posing her in front of the palm tree, I was just kind of blown away, and I immediately went up to him and I was like, "Oh, can I take that picture too?" So I kind of stole that same photo and pose. This is also on the Q, and this one was the highlight of the night because she wasn't ready for the photo, and usually those make for the best photos when you're not expecting them. And she just turned around and Jesus just snapped a picture, and it just came out amazing. Her dress looks great. That's my
favorite photo.
Yeah, that's such a great photo. Let's see. So that's it for the pretty much edited ones. Some of the unedited ones I'll show. Don't tell Angie. Hopefully I'll include them in the album by then. But these are just mixed with... these are the ones from the Leica Q. And you can see it's a real big difference. It was a big struggle. I really can't say that enough. it was really cute because they ended up lighting what are those called, like little, not firecrackers, but the little the sparklers.
The sparklers.
Sparklers, yeah. And
Oh,
everyone
so
just lined up.
that...
I know.
Ah.
That was the bride's mom and dad, and then just family lined up on the sides. And this was the cousin that was doing the videography, and kind of got in every shot, but these would have been beautiful shots without him there. Great photos. And as you can see, the ring light disappeared, and so did all the light that we needed for the photos. And again, we were counting on a daytime wedding, so we didn't bring any flashes, even though I know we should have for fill light, but it happened. And I guess that's really all the photos to show. Let me know what you think. What do I say? Leave comments below. If you like the video, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. Maybe I can keep improving, and give me suggestions. Thanks.
That's the mom. Like do a show and getting awkward. Huh? Like, could I get like give her a show?